If you're looking to set up a trial, go ahead and click the Try It for Free button down towards the bottom in purple. When arriving at this screen, you'll want to fill in your first name, last name, email, username, and a very strong password. If somebody referred you to the system, you may have an affiliate code. If not, go ahead and skip down to the Sign Up button. Upon arriving at the login screen, go ahead and enter the username and password that you just set up on the previous screen. After you've done that, go ahead and click the Login button. The next screen is a credit card verification screen. With the rise in global spam, we do require a valid credit card to validate this account. Don't worry, your card will not be charged at the end of the trial. Again, your card will not be charged at the end of the trial without you taking specific action to set up an account. After inputting your credit card, you'll be taken to a screen to input your cell phone number. Go ahead and put in your cell phone number and hit the Add Phone Number button. Within a few seconds, you'll receive a text with your confirmation code. Enter your confirmation code and click the Submit button. Once you've completed the 4 questions, click the Looks Good button. Now you'll input your time zone and your currency and click the Finish button. When you enter the dashboard screen, there'll be a message down at the bottom right-hand corner that pops up. This is going to include your Getting Started video series link, a product tour link, a link to the knowledge base, a link to the Facebook group, which is located at www.facebook.com/groups/open to close. There's a lot of good knowledge being passed back and forth from users in our Facebook group. There's also a YouTube channel link. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel for updates and notifications on our latest videos that we've shot. One other thing to note on this screen is our widget located in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. If you click on this widget, you'll have a chance to send us a message. This might be a ticket or something that's not working in the system. You can also search for help articles, and this is also where you'll find our upcoming webinars. Now that we're on the dashboard, this is a chance to set up your email. If you have a Google Workspace account, you can click the Connect Google, and it's going to give you instructions on how to set that up. If you're an Outlook user, you can click over to the right-hand side of the screen on Connect Outlook, and it will also give you some instructions on how to set that up. Now, if you have an email other than those two, go ahead and skip, and we'll come back to this step later to set up your non-API email address. Before we go, take note on the How It Works button. The How It Works button provides handy videos on each screen of the program to help you get unstuck if you're not sure what to do on this screen. As you can see by clicking on that video, it prompted some instructions on how to set up your Google account and also your Microsoft Office account. A question we get a lot is about using an @Gmail account. There are some instructions on can I use an @Gmail account with Open to Close. If you have a Gmail account, you'll want to set up a Gmail alias with your Workspace account. Okay, let's go ahead and skip to the next screen. Now on this screen, you'll have a chance to invite your team. If you're a one-man show, go ahead and click the I'm Done Next button. But if you have a team, go ahead and invite them here. Each team member you invite will receive an email with a username and password to log on to the system. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm done and move on to the next screen. Here you set up your teams. Teams are very important, as I'm going to describe to you. Now we've set up a default team called My Team, and it's automatically going to include the first user on this team. So in this case, it was Phil Dunphy. Now if you had other team members that we invited, you can also find those up here in this menu. So you can add multiple people to the same team. Whether you're a one-man show, like shown here, or whether you have an intake specialist, email specialist, document specialist, and a transaction coordinator, our teams are scalable and flexible enough to work with your system. One thing I will note about teams is the team roles. When you click on roles, you'll see some default roles located in the software already. You can customize these in the top right-hand corner under Edit Roles, or you can leave the roles already in the system. Now, when thinking about roles, we want you to think about your business in 5 to 10 years from now. What will your team look like in your org chart? How many people will you have? What kind of roles are you going to have? This is going to be very important when we get over to the task section. Each task is assigned a role. We assign things to roles and not individual people for a reason. We want to make this system as flexible and scalable as possible. Now, if you're a one-man show, you may wear a lot of hats. So you'll click all of these roles because you'll be handling all these tasks yourself. But as you hire, fire, promote, people go on leave, people come back, you're going to need the flexibility of having roles and not having tasks assigned to specific people. Let's give a brief example. Let's say you hire someone to handle your email and compliance. You can just come up here and uncheck email and compliance, come back over to your team, add that new user that you've invited to the system, and then go ahead and proceed to go into roles by their name, and the only ones that they would have checked is compliance and email. What that's going to do is reassign all of the email and compliance tasks to the new person on your team. We will go deeper into this concept as we move along through the onboarding process. If you want to add another team, it's as easy as typing it in. Let's say we want to add a listing team, and we want to add a buyer contract to close team. Now I can go into those teams, and as you can see, there's 0 users on each of these teams right now. Click on the users, select a user from the drop-down, add that user, set their roles, and now that team's created in the system. We'll touch on this when we get to the organization screen. For now, let's go ahead and click I'm done. If you are coming from our sister program, TC Workflow, you have the option of migrating your data. All the data from TC Workflow will come over to Open to Close seamlessly, minus your transactions. You will have to close out your transactions in TC Workflow as you're adding new transactions into Open to Close. Please talk to our support team about the billing situation and how we only charge you for one of the 2 accounts. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and click the No button to move on to the next screen. What you see here is your account is all set up, and you can move on to creating your first transaction. Now, after I'm done shooting these videos, there's going to be a list of all the onboarding videos on the screen so that you can track your progress and make sure you're getting the most efficiency out of setting up your system. After setting up your onboarding, it's going to take you back to the dashboard. If for some reason it doesn't automatically take you back to the dashboard, look on the left panel and click the dashboard button.